Hi, Stewartstown Elementary. My name is Brianna Carter, and I am here to kick off your Read Across America week. So, give me 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen, and we will get started. All right. I'm so excited to be here virtually with you. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Florida with my husband and my son, my 3-year-old son. His name is Declan. I have a beautiful dog named Dionysus, and I have a very mean cat named Diesel. We love to go to the beach and be outside. My husband loves to play the piano. My son tries to play the piano, but he can't really yet, but it's definitely funny to watch. I like to run and play tennis. I'm also a huge Ravens fan as well as an Orioles fan, and I happen to be a writer. Now, the other interesting fact about me is that I started my education right where you are, in the halls of Stewartstown Elementary many years ago. Now, I haven't been back in quite some time, so I'm sure it's a little bit different than I remember, but I sure do recall having gym class with the parachute and having assemblies in the cafeteria and lunch and playing Foursquare and being in the second grade hallway, which may have changed at this point. I also remember being in your media center and reading tons of books. So I'm very excited to be here with you today to kick off your Read Across America week. So let me tell you a little bit about my book, Positively Penelope, A Day at the Races. I'm going to introduce you to the characters since we're going to come in at a little bit in the midpoint. So it's kind of like a pre-chapter book. It's not very long. And let's get into the characters. This is Vanessa. She is the oldest of the group. She's kind of like the bossy big sister. She likes to tell people what to do. She's also very thoughtful and supportive and insightful. Then there's Alvin. This is Vanessa's younger brother. Alvin is mischievous. He's an instigator. He's always starting trouble. He kind of picks on Penny sometimes. He's not always the nicest to her, even though he does really care about her. He's very competitive and he doesn't like to lose. Then there's Jimmy. Jimmy is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, fastest kid in school. He's Penny's best friend and he's her biggest advocate. He's always encouraging her to go on adventures and try new things. And then we have Penelope. So as you can see, Penny kind of has to move around the world a little bit differently than her friends. And so she can't do things the way that they do. And she tries to figure out fun, creative, and inclusive ways to join her friends in all the different adventures that they go on. So while we're reading just this short little section of the book, I want you to think about, how does Penny portray or show perseverance and self-belief? Okay, ready? Here we go. Penny can't sleep. What does Jimmy know? He gets to race every year at school, and on a real track with his own feet. And I never get to, and I never will. Her mind is racing. She is certain she wants to compete, but the idea also makes her nauseous. It won't be like the school pep rally where she can make up her own moves, where she's in control. It is very different to hold a race on wheels, especially outside the sanctuary of the school. There are so many things to consider, and so many ways this race could leave Penny eternally embarrassed and a social outcast. The idea makes her shiver. Still, her thoughts continue to wander back to the possibility. Could this really be done? Can we really create a race in which I can compete? She snuggles deep into her fluffy bed, brushing the thought from her mind. She tosses and turns. Finally, she surrenders to her spiraling thoughts and sits up. Looking out her window, the twinkling stars greet her and the full moon lights the street with a crisp glow. Penny grabs her phone and opens her relaxation app. Silly thing. But perhaps it could work to soothe her unending ponderings. What about the rules? What would they be? there a way to secure me in this chair? She really didn't want to face the neighbors if she fell out of her wheels and couldn't get back in. What if the neighborhood kids want to play along? Or what if they don't? What if they just laugh at me? Ugh, I already stick out like a sore thumb, she mutters to the dark room, burying herself in her pillows. She closes her eyes. Think good thoughts, she tells herself, prompted by her phone. She takes in a deep breath and considers the competition. Is Jimmy right? Could this be a fun adventure? A way to finally be able to race on my terms? To Penny, it all seems a bit impossible. Jimmy had made the perfect point. They'd had many difficult adventures in the past. He and Penny always found a way to make the seemingly impossible a reality, even if it was a bumpy process. Besides, she also had the support of her mom. Her eyes flutter open, and her focus falls to the glow of the street. Is the street even wide enough? Another prompt from her phone. And deep breath in. Hold. Exhale slowly. Again, her eyes close as another wave of questions crashes through her head. How would the race be set up? How many lanes would we need? How would we decide the breakdown? By age? Class levels might be best. There were so many things to figure out. Deep breath in. Hold for 3. Now release. 1, 2, 3. This is exciting. Her eyes stay wide. This could be fun. This could actually work. There is no sleep to be had tonight. She rolls out of bed and into her chair, pushing quickly to her desk. Okay, I can do this. Here we roll. Okay, just a quick little section of Positively Penelope, a day at the races. So let's go back to the question. How does Penny show or portray perseverance and self-belief? Well, I like to define words because I think that words hold meaning and we should honor that meaning. So let's look at first, belief. It means trust in your own abilities, right? You believe in yourself. You can do it. You think it's possible. And then perseverance. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that it might take a long time, but if you keep working at it, you'll see some results, right? Now, let me tell you about one of my favorite athletes. I hope you know who this is. He won 6 national championships with the Chicago Bulls when I was a kid, when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. And he's one of the best basketball players to ever play the game. His name is Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan had great perseverance. When he tried out for his varsity basketball team, he didn't make it. Someone else was picked over him who was taller, and Michael Jordan used that as motivation to move forward, to get better. So when he finally did make his varsity basketball team, and it was his senior year, his dad was like, oh, you're good, but you might want to think about another job that you can do and make money, like a mechanic, because people who use their hands always have a job. Well, a mechanic is an awesome profession. Michael Jordan had other plans. It was actually his last year of high school, his senior year, that he had his breakout year, and he had these great statistics, and he ended up joining or being selected to the All-American team, which is a great honor for a basketball player, and it totally changed the trajectory of his life and his career. So a couple of quotes that Michael Jordan has said in his lifetime that I find really inspiring are these. I've always believed that if you put in the work, the results will come. So Michael Jordan wasn't born the best basketball player. He had a talent. He had to try to be good so he could work to be the best. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. What does that mean? It means that Michael Jordan doesn't make every basketball shot. He doesn't score every point. He doesn't make every rebound. He doesn't play perfectly all the time. He loses games. He's had injuries. He hasn't always been the best, but he tries and tries and tries again. And he takes every opportunity to learn. So whether it's the loss of a game and it's kind of his fault, or if it's the team didn't play well that day, or he just had an off day, he takes that opportunity to work better. He uses it as motivation to get better. So let's look at Penelope. How did Penny persevere? And that's just a quick little section that I read, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I think you might get it. I'm pretty sure you'll get it. She wanted to race, right? So she can't race like her friends on a track. She had to create an event, and then she had to promote an event, and then she had to find help and support, and then she could have a chance to compete, right? She had to do all these things, and you can see at the end, she's like, I can do this. Here we roll. Because even though she was scared and nervous, and the idea of falling down or, being made fun of, scared her, she still did it. She still stays up, and you'll read that in the next section, and she creates these rules, and she starts this event just so that she can race because she believes in herself. So let's talk about what that means for you. I think this school year has been weird. The last year has been really weird for everybody, and we can't be together all the time or in person. And that's perseverance. That's taking an obstacle and overcoming it. Your teachers, your educators, your faculty, the whole staff, and the student body is working together to try to education in a different way. It's new to everybody, and it's tough, and it's difficult, and it doesn't always work out the way we want it to, but we're doing the best we can, right? And we're trying, and then we're reconfiguring things so that it can get better, and that we can learn better, and we can adapt to this new way of life. So that's how you have perseverance and self-belief. For me, in writing perseverance, I didn't just get to write a book. I had to start a draft, which I did about 5 years ago. And I did tons and tons and tons of edits. And then I spent a whole year with an editing team going back through and editing. And I had to find an illustrator and work with an illustrator and find someone that could capture the essence of who Penny is to me and create my artistic vision. Whew. And it's taken about 5 years. So I know this has been an interesting and cumbersome year for everybody. So hang in there. You're almost through it. If you want to hear more about Penny's story, you can email her at peneloperoseberger@gmail.com. You could also reach me there if you have any questions about writing and stories. I love to talk about it. And just know that at the end of the day, you can do it. Take care, Stewartstown Elementary. I hope to hear from you soon.